Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to our Throwback Thursday episode. This is the episode where once a month we are checking in with a former guest on the podcast to see what they're up to today. So I am chatting with my friends Elizabeth and Adam from Extra Betty to see what has changed in their business since the last time we spoke. That original interview will be linked in the show notes if you want to listen from the start. But today we are talking about their transition into a larger studio space. They have gained 4 times as much square footage for their balloon shop. We're talking about employees and getting help. We're celebrating Adam's 1-year anniversary working full-time in the business and talking about the Betty Bubble, which is a new service that they have recently started offering. I want to give a huge shout out to PremiumConwin, who is our newest sponsor on the podcast, and they will be sponsoring these Throwback Thursday episodes from now on. So this is really something I'm excited about because these guests have taken time not once but twice to come on the podcast to share about their experience running a balloon business. And as a thank you, PremiumConwin will be sending these Throwback Thursday guests an inflator. So thank you so much, PremiumConwin. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast. I couldn't think of a better sponsor to add to our lineup of already amazing sponsors that make this podcast possible. So without further ado, let's head over to the UGlu Hotline and then get into this episode with Extra Betty. Welcome to the UGlu Hotline, where we discuss great advice that sticks, brought to you by Pro Tapes. If you have a question or some great advice to share, click the link in the show notes to call in and leave a voicemail.
Hey guys, my name is Jasmine Rivera, and I'm from the Balloon River in Metro New York, and I'm calling in with a small tip regarding UGlu dashes and foils. Sometimes they don't stick and adhere well, so I always keep alcohol pads in my kit and a quick little dab or wipe on a Mylar and stick the adhesive. It does just the trick. I hope it helps. Have a good one.
Pro Tapes is a leading manufacturer of specialty tape products like Pro Gaff, Pro Artist Tape, and our favorite balloon tape, UGlu, which helps you create amazing balloon arrangements and decorations in less time. You can save 5% on UGlu when you buy directly from Havin A Party using code BRIGHT at checkout. Are you ready to take your balloon business to the next level? Look no further than Havin A Party Wholesale, your ultimate destination for all things balloons. At Havin A Party Wholesale, they're not just a distributor, they're your partner in success. With the latest and greatest in balloon innovations, they're on the cutting edge of new products that will wow your clients. From top brands like Tuftex, Jamar, Anagram, Ellie's, PremiumConwin, and more, they've got the widest selection to fuel your creativity. Elevate your balloon business with premium quality balloons and accessories that'll make every event unforgettable. Join the successful league of professional balloon artists who shop at havinaparty.com. All right, welcome to this episode. We are back with our brand new type of episode, our Throwback Thursday, where we are catching up with a previous guest. We are here with Extra Betty. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey. Thank you for having us back. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Adam.
I was gonna let you sing. See, we've been working together for a year. Yes, Elizabeth, owner of Extra Betty. We're in Cleveland, just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. And this is my husband, Adam, who is our only full-time employee.
And we will link back to your first episode if people want to listen to that. But you have had a lot of changes. So we are very excited To catch up with you, the biggest of which I can see, but listeners cannot see, you are sitting in a brand new, beautiful space. So talk about the move. Where were you? Where are you now? How did that happen? Give us the details.
Go ahead, you can start.
So we were in our old shop for a year and a half, which was just about a mile from our house here in Chesterland, Ohio. And when we first got the space, I mean, we always dreamed that we would be able to outgrow it someday. But towards the end of, our
First year.
First year, it really started to get so bad that we couldn't even, we have an employee, we have an inflator who comes in, our friend, and we couldn't even all be in there at the same time. So we would have to schedule like, is Genevieve going to be there? Okay, well then I'm going to have to wait until this time to get in. And so right away we started looking for.
Yeah, before we even hit the year mark, we were like, we need to find somewhere else to go.
And what was the square footage of that? It was not big.
No, it was 600.
Okay.
And it was broken up into like 3 separate rooms with like regular sized doorways.
Yes.
So still a dream. I mean, getting out of our house.
Getting out of our basement. Was key. But we outgrew it so quickly and we started looking around and we were pretty sure we wanted to move like to a whole different city. Like, even though we really enjoyed the convenience of living a mile away from the shop, we were like, we need to move somewhere that's more hustling and bustling. Chesterland is like a sleepy township. We have some great small businesses here, but it's not like with a walkable little downtown with cute restaurants and shops, really. So we were like, maybe we need to look somewhere else, which we started doing like 9 months into our lease at the old space.
And was it a 1-year lease?
It was an 18-month lease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we also thought that if we were going to move, that we should totally change the kind of space that we had. So not only were we looking for, like that foot traffic kind of an area for the place, we also wanted it to look the part. Elizabeth had always had this dream of having an event space. Included with our business, and we really thought that was the direction we were going to go,
which is a lot to try to look for. Like, good location, cute enough to have people want to have a party there, and big enough to work in.
Right. So we wound up we looked all over the place. We actually came really close to getting a shop that we were actually terrified of because it was more money than we ever anticipated. And it was like, okay, well, if we're going to be paying more money, we're going to hopefully we're going to be making more money. But we were just terrified, and it was kind of rushed, and that kind of fell through, and we were okay with it. We then just turned to our current landlord and said, like, do you guys have anything else?
Which is a good tip.
Yeah, it's a really good tip.
Usually landlords have lots of different commercial properties all over the place.
And it turned out that they actually had a space almost right across the street.
We're across the street from our old shop. We're like
interesting.
5 seconds away.
And but it was funny because when I told him that we were looking for a bigger space, when he told me about this, it was pretty much like he didn't think we would want it all. He's like, I do. It's 2,400 square feet. So that's 4 times the size of our original shop, which we also weren't sure how big of a space we needed. But I think even then we were like, that's too big. We're not going to,
It just seems scary.
Yeah. And he was like, but it's just a vanilla box. That's what I guess that's a construction term that we didn't know, which apparently means big open space. That's it.
You're like that sounds perfect.
Yeah. And I was like, no, that's exactly what we want. Yeah.
So we spent all that time looking around and we ended up, 15 seconds from our old shop.
It was not, it turned out to be way more affordable than the place that we almost got scared into getting. And
so it's 4 times the square feet, but we also have to pay for utilities. So when you add utilities to the mix this time, instead of at the old place, we didn't pay utilities. It's about 3 times the price, but 4 times the space.
Okay.
And it's still reasonable. Like the rent is like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
For 2,400 square feet.
There's people in California listening right now, like,
sorry.
Up.
Well, I will.
We're
they
Midwesterners.
can come visit me in Chesterland, and then they'll be like, They'll be like, okay. Special one's lovely, but they'll be like, okay.
And it's been life changing. I think I talked about last time how, Elizabeth and I are, kind of completely different people when it comes to working and organizing. And
one of us does organize, one of us doesn't.
And so to be able to like have our own spaces, and like get away a little bit, it has been a big help.
It's probably why we're still doing this together.
Yeah. Marriage, you mean?
That and the business.
And it actually turned out to be, we were kind of wrong about the whole foot traffic and stuff, because we were worried like, oh, no one's going to even know that we're here. And there's so many great other shops in this plaza that we're in. Right next door to us is this awesome wine place, which it actually turns out that the guy is also a typewriter aficionado.
So Adam's over there talking about typewriters all the time, and we don't get anything done.
And we were both like, how did we find each other? That the only people on the planet.
Typewriters, interesting.
Right, yeah.
Across the street, they're building like a bakery and event venue, like a
Whoa.
really like, farmhouse looking. So like, I guess the story from all this, because I know it seems like a very specific story, I feel like it's applicable because it's like sometimes all you have to do is like grow where you're planted, look where you are, and if you want to stay somewhere and open a cool business, I guarantee there's other small businesses around you that are probably trying to do the same thing, and you don't have to like move to grow, for sure.
But also, we're not where we thought we were going to be, or we didn't go in the direction that we thought we were going to, like with that event space. And it turned out like that's okay. At least for right now, we've kind of realized that maybe an event space and a workshop in the same location.
We were like, how would that even work? Like, so we couldn't inflate if we had something going on, and we'd have to keep it neat.
Right. But so for now, it's just working out that, it's really cool that we have, it's okay when it's a mess in here because people see what we're doing. And we have people walking in all the time that are like, what is this place? It's great.
Yeah, very cool. Well, and kind of your big update last time was that, Adam, you had gone full-time. You'd left your job as a teacher and now you are full-time in the business. How's that going?
Yeah. It's great. It's been a year officially, right? In September.
A year with no guaranteed teaching paycheck, and life is good.
Yeah. I have no stress at all. I just wake up every morning. Like,
he wakes up with like the dumbest smile on. He's like, yay, let's go.
Can I ask a really nosy question? Financially,
before you do, I'm being facetious, by the way.
Oh, you are happier than no. I have to say,
you still have stress running to
our friends
balloons?
that talk to him are like, he's too happy. That's not fair. No one's
no. There's no doubt about it that I have less stress, but Elizabeth has 10 times the stress. So that was the joke there. But don't.
No, I don't. Okay,
I don't take it for granted.
So what's the nosy question? I'm excited.
Yeah, sorry,
so financially, I left my job in March, and I feel like people just kind of invent this narrative, like, oh, you're going to make like 5 times what you're making now because you'll be full time. And for me, it was like, well, not necessarily. Like, I'm double dipping pretty hard. There's no guarantee that business is going to increase. But magically, it did. My business did increase. So I guess my question is twofold. Are you able to comfortably make what you made as a teacher? And have you seen an increase in business being full-time dedicated?
Yes.
Yes, both of those things.
It's just, yes, we've been able to replace his income since the first month he didn't have a paycheck. So that was insane to not have to like dip into savings or take on debt or anything, like to bridge the gap. And then business is booming. Like what you say all the time, when you make space for something, it comes. We're not making 5 times that. I still feel like we're working really hard to have somewhat the same standard of living as we already did, but we are on par to double our income, our sales from last year.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
That's Thank you. So I foresee in the future us actually like feeling the success a little bit more, but that's when I have to remind myself, like, no, like the success is that you were able to make this leap and you like live the same awesome life that you're living with this steady teacher paycheck, but doing something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and Elizabeth, you are still at your full-time job.
I am. So literally would not be able to do the volume that we do if he hadn't left teaching, because there's just, I work during the day, weekdays, and He takes on any prep. He's really key in like managing like anything like building related, like frameworks and mosaics. He's handling all that. We have a new employee, like a high school student that comes in 4 times a week for just 2 hours a day. And he's really taken on training her. So like trained her in how we do our inventory, trained her in how we build a grab and go, trained her in keeping the shop clean. And like that's something I literally didn't have time to do, but we really needed somebody.
Yeah.
And that was kind of organic because it was my idea to hire someone. And then the first day came that she was supposed to come. And I was like, I can't go there. I don't know what she's going to do. She's coming and we have to have something for her to do. And that's where he kind of like stepped in. And that's what we've been doing ever since. So that's another cool tip is that I was so scared to hire someone because I was like, I can't guarantee anyone a ton of hours, but like high schoolers don't want a ton of hours and they want flexibility. So like if we ever have a time where we're actually not able to come like meet her here and we say actually nothing today, she's like, great.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I remember being like that as a high schooler. So you could just like take little baby steps into it. But having her here the time she's here is like so useful, like organizing, blowing up 100 balloons for them to do that, but that's something that she could do and put in a bag and then they'll be ready to go. You agree? We're kind of on the fence about hiring another person.
Yeah, same thing. I just worried that we would, how are we ever going to have enough work for this person to do? And it turns out that there's tons of stuff that she's able to help with. It's great.
Yeah, I have a high schooler as well. And I did have a high schooler a while ago cleaning my shop. And then when I went full time, I told her I wouldn't need her anymore. And then it got to the point where it was like, I need extra help. So I actually reached out to her and she's at college. So now I hired her sister. So she comes after school and like same thing. She's like, I have a student council meeting. And it's like, okay, whatever. Like don't clean today then. Like who cares? And I just pay her a flat rate. I pay her like $40 on a Monday to empty my van, pop everything, put it away. And it's a good baby step just to get a little bit of relief. And every week I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting money. There's like not going to be anything for her to do. It's like I can't see the clutter. And then I walk in and it's clean. And it's like, oh, this was totally worth not having to do it. Like, am I overpaying her? Maybe, but like, it's
whatever. Then
$40.
She'll enjoy coming and she'll want to come. She won't. I'm a big on that too. It's like if you pay people right, then they won't flake on you because there's something in it for them too. I had 6 months worth of expenses of Havin A Party invoices and Amazon. I had 6 months of just shoved everywhere. She was here on Monday. I went around the whole shop, put them in a big stack. I showed her how to put it into QuickBooks once, and she did it in an hour.
Whoa, that's like real work. That's like, holy cow, I don't even know how to do stuff in QuickBooks.
I know. And I was like, I'll pay you like for the whole month just for that relief because it was something I saw the stack every day and I was like, oh my God, when am I going to do that?
We had piles of foil balloons in the back of the shop ever since we moved. And that's how they were in the old shop. When I moved them to this one, right back on the floor there, and one day she came in and, I was like, what's she going to do? Elizabeth goes, I don't know, have her organize stuff. So I walked her over to this pile and I felt terrible that I was like, fix this. I don't know how to tell you, like no guidance, fix this. And 2 hours later,
she did
it. I was like,
what did she do? Because help us with the foil problem. What did
I am definitely going to share. So before we moved, I had a friend of mine come in and help with some organizing and I'm a horrible friend and I haven't shared it yet, but she got us these really cool they're from the Container Store, I think. I'll do a story on them.
Lots of bins.
But but you file them. So like we fold. So like if things are in a cardboard container, we'll put them in, just as is. If they need to be folded, we'll just fold them into like somewhat of a square. And then we like stack them into these little pull-out drawer things. And then we label them. So it'll be like characters or hearts or circles. And I love it because I do a lot of marquees still. And I always try to use up what I have for that. I don't want to order new stuff all the time. Otherwise it's not worth it. So I'm like, well, let's go see what color circles I have to put happy birthday on. Let's go see what color starburst I have before I even like pitch something to a client, I see what I have. And so I feel like it's helping me use up a lot of my stuff.
But you're not going to believe this. So after we got that incredible organizational system, and then we started getting more balloons and stuff in. Those balloons would never make it into the organizational
That's my fault.
bins.
That's all
So,
me.
Well, that's how I am. I got the organization. I just don't do it. I just put them in the piles.
right. Yeah.
So
That's a
she's
good
helping
idea.
with that.
Very
The
cool.
system is there, and I'll definitely I'll share it because I've been meaning to. The system is there. I just need to stick to it. So she helps me stick to it.
Very cool. All right, let's take a quick break. And then we're going to come back and talk about the Betty Bubble. Some learning that has gone along with that purchase. And then your new t-shirt endeavor. I want to plug that as well because it's so cute. All right, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be right back.
If you're a garlands-focused business, I already know that you probably started your business by posting on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and by getting those direct messages. Well, if that's where you're at today, I would love to help you get people calling you and finding you without needing to use social media all the time. Those higher-end clients, they want to see your work on a website. It's time to get that website together so that you can attract those higher budget clients. Hi, I'm Jeff from Balloon Suite, and we specialize in building websites specifically for balloon decor businesses. Our pricing starts at $50 a month, and we have pre-built website templates specific to balloon decor. Don't waste your time with the DIY. Go ahead and start with my team at balloonsuite.com, and you can jump ahead, be better with your time, generate more sales by having a website that represents your work.
All right, welcome back. Tell us about the bubble. All these balloon people have these bubbles. You got the Betty Bubble, which is the cutest branding I've seen yet.
I was like, what are we going to call this thing? Thank you. And I'm a sucker for alliteration. So it came pretty quickly.
But I have yet to talk to anyone on the podcast about these bubbles. I find them fascinating. I find them overwhelming. Yeah. What has been your learning experience with your bubble? What brought you to buy it in the first place?
Okay, so this was a big lesson from this past year. Is I definitely bought it at a time when I don't know, it might have even just been a slow week in sales. And things felt slow and it felt like nothing exciting. You just have those days where you're like, I haven't posted something exciting in a while and no one's liked it in a while. Like that's a whole nother episode, right? Of the sickness of needing like the reinforcement on social media. But I was like, what do I even have going on? And then I've been seeing these bubbles and I'm like, you know what? We need to get one. We need to get it. We need to be the first in Cleveland because then everyone will book us. And like, I got myself all worked up about it. And next thing I know, I was buying it. And I've learned that any decision you make out of scarcity or desperation is not usually going to be the best one for your business. I'm not ready to say that yet about the bubble. I know lots of people are having like great success with them and we've literally not even rented it yet. So when this episode airs, we will have rented it, but we're getting ready for our first one this Sunday.
Okay.
Which I think we originally advertised that it would be ready to book back in July.
We did, but I've just been terrified to like put it out there because it's just a whole nother thing.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's insurance was a nightmare.
Well, I would be willing to bet, this is based on nothing and no actual research, but I would be willing to bet that most people who have them don't have them insured. So I think the fact that you do is very interesting. And you said it was a struggle.
Yeah, our business insurance wanted to drop us because they saw the Betty Bubble on our website. Yeah. And immediately we were like, well, what is this?
No one understands what it is because it's so new. They think
it's not a bounce house, but it's not balloons.
No bouncing. Yes. So, I mean, that's why we had to keep pushing back the launch date. In fact, I had a couple people on the hook that wanted it and I had to put them off because I still was trying to track down insurance. And of course, when you're not, it's just one of 1,000 things you're trying to do, right? So there's delays and you're going back and forth. And eventually we were able to find reasonable insurance with a new carrier, but then we had to go back to them with our full like business insurance, like the insurance on our space, our business insurance and the bubble. And they were able to do it for us for not much more than we're paying now. I know some people probably pay a lot more than what we pay. And I would share what we pay, but I actually don't remember. But I just remember when it did increase. It increased a little bit, but I wasn't like, oh God, no. Like it was fine. I did it because I wanted to expand our business, but I forgot that our business is us. And so we have to be the ones there. And I think to do it right, you need to have the attendant there that's monitoring and making sure, because if you open both doors at the same time, the whole thing starts to collapse because you're like letting
out the air. Yeah.
Yes. So you need to be letting little kids in and out. And the zipper is, you know, a lot to unzip, and you need to make sure kids aren't going in there with their shoes. So I think an attendant is necessary, but I don't really want to be the attendant.
Yeah.
And Adam, do you want to be the attendant?
No, I don't want to, but I'm afraid to let anybody else do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was expensive. It's really heavy. You have to have sandbags on top of that. It makes it even heavier. I worry about having access to, you know, electricity, because you can only plug one thing in the outlet if you're running the blower. And I'm not trying to scare people away from getting one of these. But these are all legitimate fears that we have and that have kept us from. I mean, watch, it'll go great. And just like,
no, I love your honesty. I
Yeah.
think that's great. Like, I got my marquee numbers, which was kind of like my first deviation outside of balloons. And now everyone contacts me like, oh, where'd you get those? And it's like, honestly, they're fine. They don't like book like crazy, like I thought. And they take up a ton of storage room. And like you said, sometimes people want them in a place where there's no electricity. So I think anytime you expand, no matter how big, it kind of opens up this can of worms that you're like, this is a whole new thing. Like, and now I have to figure this out. So I like that you're sharing that.
Yes. Hopefully it'll, you know, if we could just like pay for it. And honestly, this is even something that I didn't even think to share, but I'm going to share, is like, we're going to start hopefully doing like smaller birthday parties in the space, starting with a test run on my niece. So we're going to have her friend birthday party here and teach all the kids how to make like a little marquee. And then I think it'd be a great add-on, like, hey, now we'll blow up the Betty bubble and everyone can go wild out in there for 5 minutes. And then it's still in our shop. It's safe. It's indoors. We don't have to worry about weather. And if that works, I think there's definitely room to expand on that part of it. Like, if
I was
people
even going to say that, like, even if you
you
use it as a promotional item at like an open house in your own space,
Yes.
as like a way to draw people in and see where you are.
Mhm.
But it's everything. I mean, I feel like every single thing I've ever done in my business is like, figure it out as you go. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yes. And we've been so lucky so far. So if our little blip is the Betty bubble this year, I'm fine with it because it's so darn cute. I don't care.
I know, it is cute. It looks very impressive and fun online.
Yes.
By the way, the kid party thing was our niece's
It was
idea.
our niece's idea. It was not my idea.
She was like, you know what you should do?
You should have a party where the kids can come make balloons. And I'm like,
Sylvia, you're a genius.
How old is she?
She is 8.
Yeah.
She is going to be a millionaire.
I know. Between her and my daughter, who's 9, like, they're all coming up with ideas all the time. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have thought about that.
That's
Every
awesome.
day is that, you know, something that's an update is we've been so busy. We haven't really had time to do any kind of social media stuff.
That's true. We haven't done any funny reels in a while.
But Gwen is coming up to me constantly and she's like, you know what kind of a reel you guys should do?
You know what trending audio is right now?
That's amazing.
So stay tuned.
Social media manager, up and coming.
Yes. Well, they say you can pay your kids a certain amount, right? I haven't even tested that.
No,
so maybe
absolutely.
we'll become the social media
Who knows
manager.
social media better than kids, young people?
I don't.
Well, and you have one more special projects in the work that is new since last time, and you're wearing one of your beautiful shirts right now, and mine is on its way. I got a shipping notification. It's on its way. So tell us about this new project
You were our first purchase, Sarah, of our Big Books tee. So I don't know how to leave well enough alone. I obviously got into balloons because I like being creative. And I'm just like, I think I have creative ADD. Like, I just love all things, little bits everywhere. And for a while, I've just been like playing with that idea in my head of I like big books, and I cannot lie. Of course, lots of like, that's the trend these days, is these big, incredible helium bouquets. And I think it's one of the things that sets people like all of us apart from like a party city, that we can do cool things like that. So yeah, I just one day I was like, I'm going to see if I could find like a graphic designer to design this with me. And a friend put me in touch with this great designer in Austin named Missy J at Gigglebox Studios. And I was like, whatever, if I don't sell a single one, then it'll just be a small dent, of debt taken on doing this or whatever. But I don't know, it's fun to put something out into the world, that's not there yet. And the response has been really cool. They're available on our website.
Yeah, we will link to them in the show notes. And I grabbed one because, well, I like the color and I like the design, and it's not like logo wear. I have a problem with shirts that I want to wear to like even a convention or like a networking event. Like I don't always want it to be like Wisconsin balloon decor. Like I don't always want to be in my own brand. Maybe someone would argue that that's not good marketing, but like sometimes I just want a balloon related piece of, clothing. So I bought one right away. I can't wait to wear it.
Thank you.
Thanks
I love
again.
graphic tees. Any graphic tee that comes across like my Instagram or whatever, if it's something that like a cause that I support or a hobby that I love, I'm always like, I need that. I don't know. I'm just a nerd for them. So I was like, why not try one? And if this one goes well, I already have an idea for a second balloon related one that I want to come out with. So we'll see.
Ooh, well, I'm sure it will. Well, everyone go and support Extra Betty in the link in the show notes and buy your t-shirts so we can see more cool designs. I feel like I went to Target to buy some graphic t-shirts and they were all like Pink Floyd, Aerosmith, all these brands that I was just like, why are these all like band t-shirts that the 14-year-olds who are supposed to buy these don't even know who these people are? So it was
our older daughter, the tween, buys those a lot. And our rule in the house is then fine, on the way to school, you have to listen to a couple songs of them so that when someone inevitably asks you, like your teacher, do you even know any Rolling Stones songs? She could be like, I do actually. And it's this, and this. So, because I know what you mean. They're all wearing those tees.
That's funny. I did buy one and it just says manifest. And I mostly bought it to troll my husband who thinks it's all garbage. So I will proudly sport my manifesting t-shirt just to have him roll his eyes.
I think you're proof that manifestation and lots of hard work go hand in hand. Yeah.
There was another one that said trust the universe. And I was like, is too much? Like, will he divorce me?
I love it.
Well, congratulations on everything. I am so glad to see your success and all of your ideas. And I love following you both on social media and maybe soon to be your daughter on social media.
Yeah. You gotta get on board. Yes.
Well,
it was so fun doing an update. It was an honor having an update to give.
Yeah. And thank you to PremiumConwin, who's going to be sending you an inflator as a thank you.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Congratulations and a thank you for your time. Yeah, we love them. So, well, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for coming back for this throwback episode and congrats. It was great seeing you both.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. Our presenting sponsor is 17 Hats, the CRM I use to cut the chaos and manage my entire balloon business. From the lead capture form on my website to workflows and email templates, invoicing and grab-and-go garland automated bookings, it's all powered by 17 Hats, the best customer relationship management system for balloon businesses. There's even a 50% off coupon code waiting for you in the show notes wherever you're listening. I'll see you next week in another episode.